I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about, did I turn them off? So, let's get this out there right now. A big part of a relationship is sexual compatibility, and sometimes you're going to find yourself with a partner that you're just not compatible with, and it can lead to a breakup. And if you really think about it, sex and intimacy is really the one thing that your partner offers you and gives you that no one else does. Now, that's assuming you're in a monogamous relationship, but if you are, think about that. That means that you are saying to that person, I'm only going to be intimate with you, you're only going to be intimate with me. So that means the both of you have got to find compatibility there. And sometimes that doesn't happen because you're responsible for pleasing your partner and they're responsible for pleasing you. And if you don't, I'm telling you, you're going to have a real difficult time making your relationship last. I hear it every day. A lot of the problems that I hear are that the sex life got bad, it was less frequent, it was one person was doing the initiating, the other one was feeling rejected. Now, could the sexual struggles be a symptom of a greater problem in the relationship? Absolutely. A lot of times, if you're feeling disconnected and you don't feel important to your partner, then you could lead to having some sexual problems. Say, if you feel like your partner's only using you for sex, then you're probably going to feel like an object and that you're not important, so you're not going to want to get close to them. I mean, that's just an example. There are a lot of different examples, but the point is that sexual compatibility is very important in a relationship. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been with a partner, there ain't no magic happening, and after a while, it gets pretty old. So, one aspect of sexual compatibility is the sexual fantasies, right? Everybody has their own sexual fantasies, and it's normal. It's no big deal. It's just part of human nature. We all have our own different fantasies, and those come from different things that we've had and experiences that we've had, and you know, it's really being able to be comfortable with yourself and being comfortable with your partner and your partner's needs. And sometimes that doesn't happen. But, you know, I remember talking with Margaret actually about this a while ago. With we were talking about how Freud had said that whatever happens between two consenting adults in the bedroom, it's all fair game. As long as you enjoy it and your partner enjoys it, have at it, okay? I don't think I need to get into specifics, but within reason, people, you don't want to wind up in prison or in jail. But, yeah, so whatever it is that you're into, it's really not that big of a deal as long as your partner is consenting to it. So, some of you guys are out there probably thinking, yeah, but I got some weird stuff. No, well, just about everybody's got some weird stuff, okay? So, it ain't that bad. You just got to be open, you got to be honest, and tell your partner what you're interested in, tell them what you like, see what they like, see if you can work that out. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But, I have a good email today that I'm going to get to in a second that, you know, this guy has got some very, I don't know how to describe it, interesting fetishes and he is, well, he's having some issues in relationships, but I think that the sexual issues are just a symptom of a bigger problem with him, and I told him that. But I'll get into that. So, let me just go ahead and get into his email. And he said to me, I found your channel because of a breakup. However, after seeing many of your videos, I think the question should be about me. I have a foot fetish and a spanking fetish. I changed some of the words to make it a little bit less graphic. So let's just say, a kitty cat barely turns me on. You can figure that out. Okay? So I said that it's interesting to me, and it makes me think that he has some real issues connecting with a woman. And I suspect in his case, he probably didn't have a good relationship with his mother and has some real abandonment issues. And, you know, because he's more interested in an object and worshiping like an object, like a foot, than, you know, being intimate and close with a woman. So, I think that it has to do with, you know, some issues in his early childhood. He said, I'm also addicted to this kind of pornography since I was 14. I used to be extremely shy when I was a teenager. When I was 18, I tried suicide because a girl rejected me. So, obviously, he has tremendous amounts of anxiety, abandonment issues, and he doesn't know how to soothe his anxiety. And that could mean something as an extreme as a personality disorder. I didn't necessarily see that in his situation, but it tells me there's some real issues going on here. Because, I mean, a girl rejected him and he was ready to end his life. That's about as extreme as you can get over a rejection, right? So I think there's a lot of issues going on for him. He said, after that, I went to a therapist and things improved. 5 months ago, a girl that goes to the college in the same bus that I asked me if I had a girlfriend and said that she found me handsome. I told her that I didn't want a commitment with anybody and that I enjoyed BDSM and fetishes. She said, me too. What are the odds? The universe certainly has a way of bringing us together, huh? The conclusion was that I had with this girl the first intimate contact with a woman in my life. We touched intimately each other in 3 different occasions. She is beautiful, but for personal reasons, she is not an option, although I would not refuse to touch her again. I don't know what he meant about the personal reasons. He didn't really get into detail. Because of this first contact, I decided to advertise myself on Tinder a few months ago. Basically, I had advertised that I wanted a casual relationship on a 50 Shades of Grey side, or style. Jessica, a 19-year-old girl about to start college, came to say that she also likes BDSM. About her parents, I'm sorry, this kind of jumped, but then this is what he said. About her parents, I know they are very strict with her and her sister. Yeah, I wasn't following his train of thought there, as you can see why. This time, I decided to set up a meeting right away. We met in the afternoon in a shopping mall. In the end, I kissed her. First time in my life. And she kissed back. The first time you kissed a woman, huh? Well, it's interesting, but it goes kind of along with what I'm saying here of, you know, not being able to connect intimately with a woman because this is a stranger. So you don't really know her. Now, I guess that you consider it a first date, but I just feel like it kind of goes along with your issues of not really being able to connect with a woman intimately or a partner intimately. She said she would not be able to see me so soon because she was going to travel. I told her, it's fine, we have time. I tried to break contact with her and wait for her to come back, but she was always sending me new messages and sometimes pictures. We kept texting about 3 times a week. During this time, we would basically talk about what we would do with each other when we had the opportunity. So you have a lot of fantasy here going on too, which is fine. I mean, sometimes it makes things interesting. We were planning to go to a motel where we would have a kinky night. I was very excited because she made a lot of promises. I'll leave that up to our imagination. She came back and asked me if I could see her in the afternoon. I got her to a desert place, desert, maybe deserted? Desert, where we started kissing each other. I also gave her a foot massage and and licked her foot and toes. That was the first time I got my fetish fulfilled. She even slapped my thigh in a moment. She likes big thighs. That's what he says. All right. Sounds like you were having a lot of fun. When I got home, I texted her to say how I enjoyed that day and that I was very excited about the idea of going to a hotel. She was already starting to seem a bit strange. Quite possibly, she hadn't done anything like that before, and it came off as too much, too soon, or maybe it was you that came off as too much, too soon. Maybe you had a weird vibe or made her feel uncomfortable. I told her that I was starting to fall in love with her. Well, you told her you were starting to fall in love with her and you just met her. That's not love. That is not love. Obviously, you have a really hard time understanding about love and what is love. That is lust. Okay? That is a fantasy. You don't fall in love with somebody you don't know. That takes some time. You lust over somebody, but that's a big difference. She said, don't do it. She warned him. We continued talking a bit before she went to sleep. The next day, in the morning, I sent her a message saying that I had dreamed with her again and that I did a mess in the bed because of her. She said, I did nothing. I don't know what that means. I said, I want to see you doing everything. Finally, she said, I'm sorry, but I can't. Well, perhaps the fantasy sounded great when she was texting you about it, but when it came down to it, she wasn't comfortable. Or maybe she wasn't comfortable with the fact that you're a complete stranger and you're asking her to do some really interesting sexual fantasies. We're not talking about vanilla stuff here. We're talking about some stuff that might want to be taken a little bit more slowly. In other words, you want to know somebody before you open up and say, okay, let's try that together. He said, I was confused because things were going great. Yeah, for you they were going great. Of course they were going great for you. For her, obviously not so great. I tried not to seem desperate and asked her what was happening. She said it wasn't my fault and still wanted to be friends with me. She said it was because she was thinking about another guy she missed too much. Okay, so maybe she was still interested in an ex. I said to her that I also wanted to be friends with her, but that saying is easier than feeling, and that I didn't want her to be a fantasy or pornography that I can't have. Later, I thought that she was pretending and faking the day before, and I asked her about it. So now you started to feel insecure. She said she wasn't pretending anything and reassured that it wasn't my fault. She also said that she just was not comfortable to have sex with me right now. She doesn't know you. I said to her that it was funny because I didn't even like kitty cats. You know what I'm saying. She asked, so you would not do me? I answered that I would, but not for me, for her, and that I liked her excitement more than her kitty cat. I also listed other things I like and asked if she would like to feel comfortable doing it. So she's already feeling suffocated by this stuff. And you're saying, well, hang on. Let me just pull out my handy-dandy scroll here and read from this list. Do you like these two? Man, you gotta slow down. Oh, man. He's talked about worshiping her feet, kissing her, and being dominant sometimes. She said all yes to them. And he said, so I see no problem at all. She said, well, who knows, but for now I think we need to wait some time. She doesn't know you that well. She's probably feeling overwhelmed and a little freaked out. And I could understand her, because if I had a girl that I met on the first time telling me she wants to lick on my feet and do stuff like that, I would probably be like, yeah, yeah. Why don't we slow down here? Now, 2 weeks later, I didn't contact her, or she contacted me. I want you to teach me what to do if she does contact me, and what if she doesn't. At this point, I just don't want to waste more time. I'm in my mid-20s and I'm still a virgin. I just want to be happy with or without her. I don't have the necessary skills to deal with a woman. Should I continue to advertise myself as kinky? This is a taboo that most people don't like it. It's not something I would like my parents to find out as well. Mom, Dad, guess what? I love feet! It's really not any of your parents' business. What you do in the bedroom is not your parents' business. I'm gonna move on from that. Oh man, I personally suggested that he gets into back with a therapist, because I think that, you know, like I said, there's no problem with having fantasies, but I think he's having more problems than that. He's having a real issue relating and connecting to women, and he sees them more as an object, and he's caught up in his fantasies, and he's not really engaging and able to communicate or have a healthy relationship with somebody. And that's important, because, you know, it's fine if you have a great sex life and do all kinds of kinky stuff, but you want to have a good relationship with that person. Otherwise, they're going to feel like an object, they're not going to feel comfortable, and they're going to feel used. So, wow, I'm certainly no expert when it comes to fetishes and the whatnot. I felt pretty confident in my ability to give the insight, and you know, I just want to say this too, guys, because a lot of times you have a fantasy and you're sitting there feeling maybe guilty about it, or weird about it, or beating yourself up about it. You're embarrassed about it or ashamed. Look, there's no reason to be like that. Everybody has their own fantasies. Everybody has their own thing. And some are more extreme than others. To each their own. You don't have to go around telling everybody that you know what you're interested in. Everybody does their own thing behind closed doors. And when you're with a partner that you care about and you trust, then you can be more vulnerable and share those things and do those things. But you want to be able to connect with somebody on a human level. You want to be able to really open up to them and get to know them before you just are telling them you want to do all these, crazy kinky things, and then are wondering why they're scared when you said that you're falling in love with them on the first day. I mean, listen, if you guys want to go out there and just hook up with random people, hey, that's your business. I don't care. You go ahead and do that. The point is that this guy here is having a difficult time having an emotional connection with women, and he's having problems with the sexual stuff too. If he was having, hey, I have great relationships with my partners, and then we do these, kinky things, that's not a problem, of course. But what my concern is that he is only seeing women as fantasies, as objects. He can't relate with them. He's struggling to connect emotionally, and he is going straight into the sexual stuff. And so what I'm trying to help him, and maybe some of you guys out there can relate to understand, is get to know somebody a little bit. You want to be upfront. I agree you be upfront, but you definitely don't want to maybe lead off with that. Give somebody a little bit of time to get to know you, because, hey, they may not be interested in doing that stuff with you at first, but then they might get comfortable with the idea of it and say, okay, let's give it a shot. Maybe they'll enjoy it, maybe they won't. But, everybody has their own thing, everybody has their own interests, and maybe sometimes you have to do what they like, they have to do things that you like, you compromise, and you make it work. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype coaching. If you appreciate this video, and that I put them out every day, put a like on there, because I do appreciate that when you guys do that. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I do post videos Monday through Friday. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.